Hey, Live, welcome back. Welcome back to Living in My Truth. Step 3. Want to thank everybody for coming. It ain't moving. All right, everybody. So I hope everybody is on and I'm on. Don't want to be late, having a little technical difficulty. I don't see the numbers, Niche. It should be on the numbers.
Well, somebody is watching, so it's on here.
Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all hear me? I'm going to get this thing. Don't even worry about it. Hey, Keish. Hey, Keish. Just getting started. Girl, you know I got to have a whole technician. I got to have a whole team around here to do this thing. But we're going to get it in. Regardless. Glad you could hear me. My girl. Yeah, we're going to have a good session tonight, Keisha. It's all about step 3. Step 3 is about finding a higher power, you know, and turning your will and your life over to the care of them. So that's what we're going to be on today. Hey, Orge. Thanks for watching. Y'all, we doing great with this too. You know, I knew in my heart that this was needed to a lot of us and a lot of people. And I'm really receiving a lot of good stuff from it and good remarks from people. I mean, it's doing very well, you know, just for the first 3 steps. So just imagine when we get down to all 12. You know what I mean? Again, I like to share the original step, you know, and kind of explain what that original step is about and how it works for us. And then I like to go into just real raw talk, you know, on my life. You know, I keep it on the eye. I share this every time I come on because this is just how we do it. You know, I don't want anybody to think that I'm telling you what to do or how to do it. All I'm doing is sharing my strengths and hopes and my information and education on my recovery, you know, and I hope that it can help someone else, you know, to pick up some tools, and we call it medication, you know, from each other, so it can help you, your loved ones, or anybody you know who's suffering with this situation. Because there's so many of us that is, you know, there's so many of us that don't know how to get out the tunnel, you know, where the storm is, you know, because we have nothing to work with to get out except ourselves, hopeless without a higher power or somebody greater than ourselves, you know, that can help us restore our sanity, you know. Even if, you know, we have our friends and our family members and we try to help but sometimes this could be so chaotic and so crazy that it can make you sick, you know. So this is why you need to know these things and learn how it works with us, you know, so maybe you can go in another direction. And, you know, and sometimes you can't save us. You know what I mean? We have to learn to save ourselves. You know, and you can't feel guilty. So this is why this is for you too, you know, because the only person that could save ourselves is ourselves, you know. So I'm going to go into step 3. And I'm going to read it straight from Narcotics Anonymous book, you know, because no matter what I feel or what I say, I want you to get it from where I got it, you know. So step 3 says we made a decision. I'll say it again, a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God or the higher power of choice that you choose, you know. So when we do this gives us our strength. It helps builds us up. We have to give ourselves hope, you know, that we come to believe in this higher power. Again, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand him. And it has to be as you understand him. Like I said, when I lost my spiritual life with God and my trust in God, you know what I mean? It just wasn't no trust. I didn't care. It didn't make a difference. You know what I mean? But when I started the 12 steps, you know what I mean? It all was put in place to make it make sense. You know what I mean? To allow you to hear, some power words, and some direction to get started in self. All this is for self. All this is for you when you work the 12 steps. This is for you because it's going to help you to restore your sanity. Again, step 1 was admitting. Step 2 was a power greater than yourself. And step 3, I'll read again. We made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God as we understand him. As we have to understand this whole entire thing. This is the yellow brick road. It's like off to meet the wizard now. You know what I mean? You got Oz way over here. So we got to get through all that stuff Dorothy and all them had to get to, to get to this. Turning our wills and our lives over to the care of God as we understand him. You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge, but it's growing and it's part of coming to believe. So now you're starting to feel your emotions. It's like breaking in from out the matrix. Those pieces I was telling you about, it's like grabbing pieces of them, putting them back in the right piece of the puzzle to make the puzzle make sense. You know what I mean? And as that puzzle is starting to make sense with these pieces, that means I'm getting stronger and I'm growing. And I got the power right now because I have a higher power that I trust in and believe in, that I know got my back and got my back like this. I'm learning this. I'm getting this. I'm feeling this. I'm breaking into my disease because my disease won't allow me to feel these positive things. It only allowed me to feel and see the negative things, so that I can't grow, so that I could just shriveled up and just continue to commit the suicide that I don't even know I'm committing and just die, or go to jails or go to institutions and just go to waste. You know what I mean? Lose all my people, lose all my family ones, all my senses, all my mind. It just takes us completely. But when we learn these 12 steps and we come to believe in these 12 steps and say, we're going to, you know what? This is working. I'm going to follow these 12 steps. And when we see other people that's in the rooms and around in the programs, you know what I mean? That is doing so great and doing good. You like, dang, this thing got to be real. That's how it worked for me. When I saw all the people I saw in there, man, I was shocked. I thought some of them was going. I thought some was in jail. I thought they was off the street. But guess what they were doing? They were learning these 12 steps. They was learning these 12 steps and how to get their lives together. And they challenged it and they are defeating it. And many of them, most of all of them that I know are still living the life of a recovering addict. So these steps really work if you come to believe in them, but you have to understand for you. Again, when I say what works for me may not work for you, you may see it a different way, than I do, or a different way than Tom or Harry does. It is you. It is for you. And we keep it on the I. Always keep it on self, because you are the only one that can make these decisions and choices to fix you. Always remember that. Some call it selfish. Well, it has to be selfish. If that's how this have to work, that's how I have to be. Some don't understand, how we have to live or why we live this way, because this is a structure for us to find us so that we can live. Make sense? They wonder why, she ain't around now. She not doing this or she not doing that. She thinks she this. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to allow people to think what they think, even when they say she'll be right back out there. Once you're a junkie, you always a junkie. That is not true. Only way that's true is because we learn to come to believe that this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. And we know that the disease is ourselves once you learn how to live by these 12 steps. And it teaches you to understand why. We have to always know that. We have to always say that. You know, that I said before, you know, people say, girl, you over that. You don't have to be. No, I understand, but yes, I do. Because this is how baffling and hideous this disease that we live with is. One little slip. It's like putting a pinhole in a balloon. One little slip and it'll slide right in on you. You won't even realize it or think that it was still there after all these years. You know, never goes away. It can't, because it is you. And everything that was about it and you indulged in it was you. You know what I mean? And it still is you. You know, you just learn how to live with it and not let it control you. So again, the only place this sickness goes is in remission. That's what I call her Trey Trey. She's in remission, you know, and sometimes she just don't work through wanting me to get high. I don't want to get high, not today. You know what I mean? But I got to keep my thinking straight. I have to keep my thinking straight so that I can stay straight. So I can love, live, and laugh. You understand what I'm saying? So I can keep me on a narrow, you know, and the only one I have to answer to is my higher power. That's the only thing greater than myself today. You know what I'm saying? I can't wrap myself around how other people feel, but as an active addict, we don't know how to do that. People are going to keep coming at us and keep saying things and keep doing things, and families are going to keep, going through the stress, the pain, the anger, because you go through it just like the addict does, because you love your people. You know what I mean? But this disease bounces off and it make you start not even liking them no more. This is how vicious it is. This how powerful sickness is. This is how powerful our disease is. It's so powerful, it'll make you want to forget us. It'll make you want to have nothing else to do with us no more. And then it can make you love us and continue to love us until you lose you, for loving us so much, But the thing about that is you can't fix us. We have to fix ourselves. So that's why we really need you to understand and know what this is all about and how that we live, so that you can understand the madness that we are going through and not in control of any of it. That's the viciousness of this thing. A lot of us had people that we know and loved ones that we know that have gotten clean and been clean for a long time and picked up and lost themselves again. You follow? Because this is how cunning, baffling, and powerful I'm telling you that this sickness is. It will slip in any way. It'll slip in good times, bad times, hard times, laughing time, at the beach time, in church time, laying down sleep. This disease is you. It's me. I can't get rid of it. I can only keep my awarenesses up that I know that I'm sick. And I know how it works because I learned how it works through the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. That's my cushion. And I come to believe in a higher power greater than myself that I gave my will and my life over to. You follow? And that's my strength. Y'all hear me? People, listen to me. This is to the ones who suffer for the suffering, which is the loved ones, the children, the mothers, the fathers. We sit around and we watch us disintegrate, just become this thing. And it hurts so bad because that's not what you want for your loved ones. That's not what you want for your people. You know what I mean? We can have all the knowledge, all the understanding, all these 12 steps in the world, but disease is still there waiting for that moment to knock you out your still. It's just sitting there. It never goes away because it can't. You can't run from it because it's you. It's me. I can never get rid of Trey Trey. I can only keep Trey Trey in remission. And I know when she coming at me, I know because it's a voice. It's the subconscious mind. It's a voice, and I hear her. But I turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand him. You follow? So I don't listen to her. I do what I know I need to do with the steps. And I'll call somebody, which we have like sponsors. You know what I mean? Do I sponsor? Yes, I sponsor, but y'all can't sponsor everybody because everybody, a lot of people want me to be their sponsors, and it's just not enough of me to be a sponsor to you. That's why I'm blessed and I'm able to do this on this technology here, But we have NA to go to. We have AA to go to, but most importantly, I have prayer to go to. I know that I can talk to my higher power because I know that he's wrapped around me and he's keeping me, safe. You know what I mean? And keeping my mind and my heart together, so I can think about it and feel it and make the wisdom to know the difference. That no has to mean no by any means necessary. And when I say by any means necessary, any means necessary. Speaking of no, do you know that is the antibiotic to recovery? That one little word, that probably the second word we ever heard in our lives. No, baby, don't touch the stove. No, you can't go in the street. No, you can't eat that. Always saved us from harm. No means no. And we become grown women, people, and in our minds, it's like a child. We don't get it. We don't understand it. This is why I tell you guys, we crawl before we walk, before we can get better. So no means no. That's one word, 2 letters, 1 syllable. No. One of the first words we ever learned. I got some people coming in, sitting on the couch, y'all. We're going to get this couch full too. I love having an audience because it gets my drillium up and get my drillium going. And sometimes they're going to be sharing, they're going to be speaking too. We just going to have conversation. So we can hear some more from other people who has dealt with either being the addict or the loved one of an addict. So anybody who's interested in that, please let me know. Even if I can put you on this live with me as well. We're going to get to that, but I'm getting better with everything. So just hold patience because it's going to happen. Okay. So back to what I was saying as for the families, you know what I mean? That, get stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Get emotionally affected, by all of this because you want the best for your loved one, but you just don't know how to get through to them. You know what I mean? Sometimes the things that you can say, you could be their worst enabler. That's another thing. We enable them. And I'm not telling you that that's what you should do. I'm just trying to give you some medication, what I call it, so that you can understand when live and let God. Because one thing you cannot do, you cannot cure anybody. You cannot fix anybody. Any addict or alcoholic, you can't fix them. You can only offer the help and wisdom and knowledge, and support. Saying support can also be a sign of enabling too. You know what I mean? Because we know when we got you. We know when we got your heart. We know when we can get over. We know the whole 9 yards because we vicious. And don't forget, we liars. We walking liars. We live in liars. We believe all our lies. We masters at lying. So that means we could take our emotions, flip all over, cry, fall down, act like we fainting, going into seizures, the whole 9 yards just to get you where we want you to be, especially if we hungry. So it's a lot of things that you got to know. And a lot of you probably seen it and a lot of you probably have done it. You know what I mean? Because this thing don't discriminate. It have us all crazy. It have us all going off. But the ones of you that are watching this, you also dealing with your emotions and your thinking too. Sometimes yours can do just the same as ours. It can separate from each other. And then you say, well, I don't care no more. I ain't messing with them no more. He can go ahead. They can do whatever they want to do. And then when you go out there, keep saying that and keep doing that, and that's just what's going to be done. Some of us are going to try to help them. We go to the places where they are, and get them is so dangerous. You jeopardize your lives most of the time. You know what I'm saying? When we go to these places, I'm not going to tell you that you can't or you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's your choice. But it's not going to stop them if they don't want to stop. It can turn them against you for coming to them, interrupting their satisfaction, of comfortness, because that's what it is. When we get high, it's our comfortness because we can't live without it. We can't do without it. We have no tools to work without it. All we have is this sick, diseased mind that sends us out here to trick, to steal, to do all the wrong things, and they're right things to us because it's getting our satisfaction of the comfort that we need for the drugs and the alcohol. That was nice. Well done, Trey. That was nice the way you put it. See, I'm riling up now. And I love riling up because it gets in my body. And like I told y'all, I get to moving around and I get to, get that pump feeling. You follow? So I'm hoping somebody hear me. Show me some hearts. I'm hoping that you understand it and follow me because I told you I roll, and I ram all over, but I stay on that step. So for everything we do are decisions. The bad decisions or the good decisions. It's just that we have no control of the bad. But learning how to get clean, we're getting ready to get on that yellow brick road, like I said, off to meet the wizard and to get eyes up here, we learning. And I hope this information is helping you. I don't stay all clinical through this. You know what I mean? I like to laugh. I like to have fun. I like to make sure that we all are comfortable. You know what I mean? Because whether you know it or not, you're sitting in my sitting room along with me, and I know how to treat guests. So, just hang in there with me, and if I go off, put it on here. The way y'all put the questions, the statements and the answers and all of that. I'm catching up with this technology though, but I'm gonna get this word out. Whether or not I know how to use this technology or not. Because once it's set up for me, I'm rolling with it. My strength is what I'm doing right now. My mission from my higher power is to make sure that I can get this message out and I can get to help people, and allow people to help themselves get better. So when you go back into decision making, that's something that we can't do. I mean, disease just take it and just cut it out the brain. Decision making, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? No rational decisions. They take all the rational decision out, and all you know how to make is the irrational decisions. And then we can't think no more. So again, I was telling you that, like when some of us get clean and we get clean for a while and then we relapse and go back out and use, some of us make it back and some of us don't. Because the more you use and quit, it takes you right back to where you left off the last time. That's a fact. And it don't get better, it gets worse. And then the shame and the pain and the madness and the anger and all that in yourself, feeds disease. And disease said, got you, got him now. Go fix me. Go fix me and go fix me right now. Before you know it, you're right back out there doing what you used to do, but you're only going to do worse and you're going to go further to do what you was doing. So when you go out there and, like myself, you go out there and you get the, they call it tricking, stealing, robbing, everything that comes with the negative. When you go out there and you go back to that, it becomes normal, more normal, more normal, and more normal. And you don't be ashamed of it no more. When you first do it, you're sitting around when you clean and you cry. Oh man, I don't believe I did that. I said, I'll never do this. I'm not doing this no more. I'm going to quit. Poop. I went back and got high again. And guess what? Was a master. Out of control, had no control of doing it. It's just what we do. It's just where this disease sends you. You have no control of it. Some people, don't get me wrong, won't go out there and do that. Some people know people like I did. I wasn't on the strip. I just knew people. I knew people who would pay me because they used to like how I looked. I knew that. But you know what? I could not, and for a long time in my recovery, I said it took me like about maybe 6 years before I surrendered to say, well, I'm a trick too. Because I sold myself. I got money for what I was doing. I got money for who I was sleeping with. I got money or dope. You follow what I'm saying? A trick is a trick. And you got to surrender to it because there's no other way around it. That was just my pride. And that was just me, like the shame. Now, I ain't saying I'm no trick. You know what I mean? But I was still growing. I was still growing into the truth. I was still growing to allow my truths to set me free. So it just don't happen overnight. I still worried about what people were saying about me and what they was thinking about me. People that saw me out there doing what I was doing. Some didn't see me at all and they got more information than I do on what I was doing.
You follow? They know my story better than me. At least they think they do. You follow? They keep my story, my present. You know what I'm saying? But today it's medication, so keep it coming because I always need to be reminded. You follow? That helps me fight my sickness. Pow! I love this. It helps me fight my sickness.
Not pow.
You know? I said pow. Boom, boom. You hear what I'm saying? Pull the Uzi out on that one, you know? I got some people here. You follow? Pow. Yes. I learned how to take, you know, with criticism that comes to my sickness, my suffering, you know, as a sick person, and you can't see that through me. And I understand why you can't because of the behaviors that comes with it. You know what I mean? Even when I was trying to get better or I was trying to look good, you know, disease is so vicious. Like I said, it jumps in everybody else's head and try to get back in my head to make me feel bad and make me feel weak of me, even when I'm trying to get better. This thing is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. And it works through people, places, and things. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. But guess what? It can be done. It's a whole lot. Again, like I said, sticks and stones can break my bones, but names don't hurt me. Not today. Doesn't matter to me what you know that I was doing. What matters to me is I learned how to keep me with my sickness on the eye. And I learned how to forgive myself. Surrender, forgive everybody that just keep shooting things at me and doing things at me. And like I'm saying, I'm not the victim. I was the victimizer. But today I'm sober. Today I'm good. Today I have a higher power. Today I'm able to make rational decisions versus irrational decisions. So getting back to the families that really don't understand how your loved one can stay clean for 20 years or 15 years or 10 years or 3 days or a day. It only takes one day at a time. Those years come from a day, you know? So the most important day is today for all of us. You follow? Yesterday is history. Today is today. Tomorrow is a mystery. And that's for every living soul on this earth. You follow? And you'll say, Dad, how could that have happened? What made them go back out? I'm not in the head of the persons that go back out, but I do live with the same disease that they live with. And I am telling you how disease works, and it does not discriminate for anybody. You know, it gets that space and jump in and it's over. You made the wrong decision. You gave up. It's always something that was done, something that hurts, something that you be in denial with, lies. You feel me? It be lies. And then losing, you know, in the rooms they say, if you relapse, you lost all your time. You got to start all over. Well, this is what I tell the still suffering, you know, addicts and alcoholics. You lose that day. You lose the day you picked up. It is no way I'm going to turn 20 years over of recovery that I fought hard for. And I know, just like you know, that this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. You follow? I know it's mentioned in the information that we get. But when I was getting out, it was in the 90s. It's 2024 now. You follow? Change is constant, and there's nothing constant but change. Hell, TVs don't even work the same like they used to. Cars don't look the same like they used to, because more and more people got in on this thing. You know what I mean? They changed technology. Life goes on, you know? So that is a bummer. When you hear, oh, you got to start all over from the beginning. Are you serious? I'm not going to put that extra pressure to feed disease on any suffering addict. I'm going to tell them, well, what you need to do is get back in them 12 steps, get back in them rooms, get that sponsor, start it over from the 12 steps. But you ain't going to start it over from where you left off and take that 20 years and say they don't exist. They do exist of recovery time. You worked hard for that recovery time. Those are your years in recovery, living without drugs or alcohol. The day you picked up is the day that you relapsed and you got dirty. And from that day on, until you find your way back to go back to where you left off in recovery, is going to be your downfall. And that's the days that you can't get back. And that's just me. That's just me. And working in drug and alcohol, I've seen so many people who has plenty recovery time, and then when they relapse, they say the first thing comes out their mouth, oh man, Miss T, oh man, now I done lost all my time. I used to think about that and say, well, how could you lose time from yesterday when you was clean? You relapsed. You made the wrong choice. You made the wrong decision. And you know that this thing takes you right back to where you left off. And you know when you get on this thing again, it's going to take your mind even more and even deeper, because your decisions and your choice making is going to be 10 times as hard as it was before this time. So you earned those. Those are your time. You did that. You made this 20 years. But disease, you let slip by you. You let this disease get through you through something. Good times, happy times, bad times, party time, going to the beach time. I don't care what it was. You allowed this disease to come back at you and have you make that wrong choice when personally you could have said 1 word, 2 letters, 1 syllable, no. And you go to your medication, which is the 12 steps and the rules and regulations of Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. And that is so hard, because this is why we say this disease is insidious. It is crazy. It is so powerful. The thing is, when you start putting it in check and put it in remission, it's going to sit there right like a double head on your neck. You know, waiting, just Lord, and just waiting to find a way to take you back out. It's vicious. It's real vicious. You know, so when you have this happen, you know, from loved ones, you know, it takes you back on a stress, loved ones, you know, it puts you back through a whole mission too. We have a program too, and I meant to mention this, it's called Al-Anon. Al-Anon is a program like NA and AA. It's for families to come to help understand how the addict lives, you know, and why they do things like what I'm doing with you right now. I'm giving you both worlds. You follow? So always know they're all over. It's many NAAAs and Al-Anons all over the place. So no, wherever you are, you're watching this, believe me, go online, look it up, you'll find them. You'll find them everywhere, you know. So when you have, like, I want to share a story that's in my story. I'm going to share this story because this person I loved unconditionally. This person was a family member of mine. And when I went into rehab, I told you when I first went in there, the first person I saw that let me in it was this big, tall black man looked like Sammy Davis Jr. Okay? So as I got into the rehab, and I told y'all I wasn't following the rules. Rules, that's another thing we're going to get into. Rules is our life. We got to follow the rules. We got to follow the 12 steps. They're rules. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn how to follow rules. You know, because if we don't know how to follow rules, things gonna be all back in the matrix. You follow? You ain't gonna have no control. You're gonna still allow disease to stay in control. So Better House was the rehab that I went in. I've been in one rehab. That's because it wasn't many back then. I've been in detox enough times for the whole staff to know who I was. You know what I mean? Like they do rehabs today. You know, and you know, when you get into rehabs, it's like a world when you go into rehabs now. You know, rehabs is a normal place. It's like timeshare to some people. You know what I mean? Because they can always get in. It's like a timeshare. You know, and then they get right. We as addicts, we get real bougie too. Oh, I should have went to Miramont. You know, I should have did this. They did this. Like you got first class. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. That's how our minds be in the world of an addict. That's how we think. You know what I mean? Because this is our world. This is our matrix. This is where we are. You follow? So when I went into the rehab, it wasn't many rehabs out then. You know, and they didn't take no shit back then. They didn't take none. You know, they cuss you out. They do everything, right? So everybody got to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You go in there and you find love. Reason why? Because out here in the world, you don't feel like you're loved. You don't feel like nobody cares. You don't feel like, you know what I mean, nobody trusts you. But when you go into rehab and shit, everybody in there is just like you. You follow? So we bond. We each other, we know how to keep each other's company. We know how to talk shit. We go in there and we think we geniuses. We think we know everything. We think people can't tell us nothing. Because see, we got a little food that they give us 3 meals a day. We got a bed that they allow us to sleep in that we didn't have before we got there. You know, they give us washing powder and stuff to wash our clothes. They give us deodorant, toothpaste, you know what I'm saying? And a toothbrush so we can stay clean, you know. Then we get even little shampoos and all that stuff, and then we just beef ourselves up. You know what I mean? And we start feeling a little good about ourselves. We think we still look good, but you know, we still looking a little crazy. You know what I mean? Cray, but disease got you like this. Girl, you bad. You back. You know, back in a week, right? Back in 2 weeks, right? And that's what it's making us believe. You know what I'm saying? Girl, get yours. You know, get your certificate. Get that money. You go back to welfare. Get all your stuff. And you're going to be all right. You know, so everybody got to feel like they love. We feel love from each other, you know, when we go to the rehabs. You know what I'm saying? So because we are feeling out of love in our whole addiction. We don't know that love is there no more. Love don't mean nothing. That's an emotion that disease took and froze out the way. That's going. That's in the matrix. That's in the brain. That's in the matrix. You just ain't pulled that one down yet to put it in the right place. You know, so love and caring is nothing. You know, so being in this rehab, I'm around here now and I'm cool. You know, I'm president. I made president, y'all. You know, and y'all know I'm a challenger. Y'all know I like a good fight, right? Only thing I couldn't beat was disease. Tore my ass up, but I got him now. You follow what I'm saying? She laid down right now. You know, for 1 word, 2 letters, 1 syllable. For making a decision to turn my life over to the will of God. You follow what I'm saying? And have trust in my God. You follow? So I'm in the rehab and, you know, everybody got a God man in there. You know, I'm the only one. You know, to me, all the good ones was gone. They had one left. You know, and I'm not being funny. I'm not being, you know, ignorant, nothing. This one looked like David Ruffin. You know, his glasses were so thick, he couldn't see that them glasses, they was like Coke bottles, but he looked like David Ruffin to me.
Can he sing?
He couldn't sing worth a lick. He looked good. You follow what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna talk to you, Otis. You know what I'm saying? He looked good. Because, see, I still couldn't see straight. I just was seeing what disease was allowing me to see. I was still messed all up, drugs all over my kidneys, my lungs, my liver, everything, all in my system. I can't feel nothing. I'm still under the influence of the disease right now, with not enough information and education to know that this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and that can control me even when I'm not getting high. So I'm not supposed to meet him. You know, we used to meet down in the basement. So I supposed to meet him. They put me and him together because you ain't gonna want to not be in. You know, you got to be in. You got to be in. Just like society. Just like society, you got to be in society. You feel that vicious disease there too. That vicious drug too. Because society ain't nothing but a drug in itself. You know. And when you get into the rehab, you bring outside society inside the rehabs. You bring them in. So you bring outside society inside your home. You bring outside society inside your church. You bring it everywhere you go. You bring this madness too, but it's not madness to you. It's normal. But it's madness to the ones who don't understand us and how we work. So I said, all right. You know, I supposed to met him downstairs at 12:30. I got to creeping, getting up. You know, in the building, oh, you can hear the creeps. Getting up. So it was this office on the other side, right? Only people that I really knew was the day working people. I never seen the night working people. So I'm creeping. And I'm creeping. And I'm sharing this story. And I want family to know that what I'm going to say behind this. And I hope that it helps you, you know, and understand our loved one. I'm creeping. I get right to that door. And I heard this voice say, stop, come here. Now I'm caught. So the disease is like, oh, yes, it's caught. They're going to put you out. You know what I mean? That's the first thing going to come to my mind. I looked over, and I promise y'all, it was my cousin. It was a cousin that I love very much. And he was in recovery. And he became a pastor. And he was one of the baddest that you could ever know. He fought a hard disease. He did exactly what God put him out to do. Helping people.
helping people to heal, helping people to love God, helping people to get off drugs and alcohol. He just had a soul and a spirit that was so beautiful, and I admired him. And he said, where you think you're going? That was Reverend Levert Todd. Loving, always will, understanding. You know what I mean? He helped me get clean. Him and Doc Watson. And I will always be grateful and thankful for him, as everybody should. Like I said, disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. And it can break through any body at any time when something led a pinhole. That taught me something as well. See, when the things go backwards or it turns around, you got to know that you're battling this devil. You know what I mean? And the devil is just as strong. You follow? But the devil didn't do nothing. The devil allowed his life to make my life stronger. It allowed his life to save a whole lot of us. You know, it allowed his life to show us that this disease is hideous and it's cunning, baffling, and powerful. It allowed him to do what God sent and meant for him to do, to soldier for him. That's what it did. You know, a lot of people on the outside looking in will say, oh man, he was a pastor, he was this. Guess what? He was a savior as well. You know what I mean? Just as I am. You don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's a mystery. You understand? You got to stay in the day and stay focused so that you can live today. So you can do things today. You can make positive decisions today. You can continue to fight this power. You know what I mean? And do what God soldiered us to do. You follow? God had many men and women soldiering for him. That's what he do. That's how we learn. That's why we know who he is. That's why he know you have to turn your will and your life over to a higher power, you know, to help you restore your sanity. I never thought in a million years I'll be a junkie. I never thought in a million years I'll be doing this on no technology phone. I never thought in a million years I would have to walk around here saying I tricked and I did this and I couldn't be a mother to my kids and I couldn't do this. Hell, I had big plans when I was younger. Big plans. But that was then. I learned how to live one day at a time as he did, as he taught us to do. He helped save a lot of people. A lot of people. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. But people, places, and things, you're on the outside looking in and all you can see is the bad that happens that you call bad with people and see people fall again. You know what I mean? But you know what? We prayed for him. We prayed for him and he was still praying too. He was still praying too. So I want y'all to know, family, I want y'all to know that you know what? He did what God sent for him to do. He allowed us to know how vicious and cunning, baffling, and powerful this hideous disease is. That he had to take his own life. You follow? Jesus gave his life up too. You follow? For the people. So I will ever be grateful to him. I will always have him in my heart. And I will always share that in my story. Because it's my story. My crazy son talking about what happened to David Ruffin. Let me tell y'all what happened to David Ruffin. He didn't let me go down that basement. That's what happened to David Ruffin. And to this day, I'm just calling this name because I can't put names out like that. I have permission to put any name I put out that's real name is because I got permission from that person. They don't mind allowing, you know, this strength and this medication to continue to help people as well as, you know, my cousin did. You know, David Ruffin never got to get Tracy Allen. You know why? Because my cousin Levert set me down. You know what he did? And he scarred me so bad. And he told me the truth, whether or not the truth was hurting me or not. He made sure that he said what he had to say and do what he had to do. And he left the choice and the decision on me and told me to get out of his office. I'm going to pray for you. That's what he did. And I said, well, cousin, I'm trying to pray too. Cheryl told me how to pray. You know what I mean? But God ain't helping me. So I don't believe in God. I was in his office until like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he was steady praying for me. He was steady praying for me.
He did more praying for me than he even did talking to me. He talked, shut it down, and he prayed for me. And for the end of that night, I was praying with him. Tell me it ain't no God. Tell me that people like us can't love and can't help and can't care and can't laugh and can't have joy, and can forgive themselves. You know what I mean? And can spread this word so other people can learn how to do the same thing in the same predicament that you were in. That's what I'm talking about. So cousins, powerful great man, loving man, and believe me, God was waiting for him at the gate and said, job well done. Getting a little emotional up here a little bit, but guess what? Love him. So back to a lot of what I was saying about turning our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand him. Today I'm still understanding him. I'm still learning more about my higher power. But I keep saying the one word that is the antibiotic to this recovery, and that's no, by any means necessary. I have to say no when my stinky thinking comes to my head. I'm trying now. I'm taking all that information that my cousin and everybody else was giving me in this program that offered me their strengths and hopes from their stories and their beliefs and what they come to believe in, and teaching me how important that the 12 steps or Narcotics Anonymous are, and all I have to do is just want it and follow it and continue to want it and follow it, that my pains will end up going away because I'm going to understand why they was there. You know what I mean? My love is going to come back because I'm going to understand why I need to love and how it feels to feel love. The first time I ever felt real love in my life was the day I surrendered. And I love me so much today that God comes first in me. Because if I don't love me, I can't love you. I can't love my children. I can't love my grandchildren. I can't love anybody. You know what I mean? Because I won't have enough love if I allow my disease to steal it back. I know I'm going down. There's no doubt about it. I know I'm going down. So, I hear you, Trees. Thanks. I hope and I pray that a lot of things that I'm saying can help you. You know what I mean? I'm going to change up a little bit on some of these lives, and podcasts, and make it a little bit more comfortable. Y'all know when I get started with something, you know how I do. Y'all know me. The ones that know me know me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get this thing balling and we're going to get it rolling. We're going to have people sharing, it's just going to be the bomb, and I hope it's the bomb now. And I appreciate everybody who has been on here and that is willing to listen, you know what I mean? So you can hear, and then get an understanding. I do have to keep it on the eye, but I always have to talk about the addict as I am, and the recovering as I live. You hear me again? The addict as I am, but the recovering addict as I live by choice today. So next week, because time be rolling. Time be rolling. You don't even be paying attention to it when it's a good conversation, when it's good, So next week, we're going to go to step 4, taking a more inventory on ourselves, because that has to be done too, So hope you got something out of today. Hope you enjoyed this session. You know what I mean? Because I know I do. I love it, And I'll see you guys next week, 7 o'clock. Wednesday, again, go to Tracy Allen Live. Tracy Allen page. A lot of you are going to Tracy Williams, but this is on another line. So go to Tracy Allen's page, and it'll say Tracy Allen, Living in My Truths. Thank y'all. Love you.